Hello boaters. Well, this is my first video of 2025. Happy New Year. And I just wanted to tell you an amusing little story. Sometimes I'm a bit slow off the mark, and I'll tell you what happened. I boated the other day, or a few days ago, to a very rural location, partly because my 14 days were up at the previous location, and also I was looking for somewhere which should be fairly good for solar charging. I arrived there in the afternoon. It was a lovely sunny afternoon, put the panels up, got lots of good charging done, and the next day was forecast to be really sunny as well. Great. Anyway, next day came and it was completely the opposite. It was totally overcast and really cold, so much for the charging. Anyway, at some point in the day I decided I'd go out for a bit of a walk. So I looked on the map and I thought, oh yes, I can do a little round trip which will bring me back to the boat, and that's not going to be too far. Should be quite pleasant. So off I went, and on the way I came upon this very large pile of fly-tipped rubbish. Now, I hate to see fly-tipped rubbish, but at the same time I'm always quite curious as to what's there, because I like to, if there's anything there I can use, I'll pick it up and take it home. Bits of wood and things like that. You never know what's going to come up. So I went and had a look at this pile of rubbish, and it was a very large van full, or a small lorry full of rubbish. It was quite a big pile, mostly black bags. And as I looked, well, it was mostly black bags with garden rubbish, garden waste or so I thought. Didn't see much there. A few plant pots, nothing, mostly just junk. So I didn't pick anything up, so I carried on with the walk, and then eventually made my way back to the boat. Next day, it was a lovely sunny day. I was quite busy, and but at some point I started thinking about this fly-tipped pile of rubbish, and I thought, well, I didn't really have a really good look, so perhaps I'll walk down there again in a minute and have another look, see if I've missed anything. So I did that, and yeah, these black bags, they were full of looked like old compost and stalks and sticks and things like that. Lots of them, at least probably a couple of dozen big black sacks of this stuff. Lots of little, well, I say little, there were lots of plastic plant pots as well, all different sizes. Some were quite big, but they were just sort of cheap disposable ones. Wasn't very interested in that. Also a few electrical items as well. And so yeah, I had a bit of a poke around, but there wasn't anything that I was interested in, so I came back to the boat. Next day, busy again. Again I thought of this pile of rubbish and thought about what I'd seen, and then I finally twigged what it was. We had got all of these black bags full of, looks like old compost and twigs and sticks and things like that. Plant pots, lots of black plastic plant pots, cheap ones. And then also there were some electrical appliances. And then that's what got my suspicion, mainly, really, because there were several cheap electric fans, and also several cheap electric fan heaters. And then I realised what it was. It was, how should we put this? It was a dumped cannabis factory. They grow all these crops of that certain plant in old deserted buildings like warehouses and things like that. They move in lights and heaters and fans and bring it all in and grow everything under cover. And that's what this was. Obviously the plants had been harvested. There was no leaves to be seen or anything like that, but that would explain all the electrical devices, and why that was all dumped I don't know. Perhaps they got a cold feet after the harvest, I don't know. Maybe they decided to give it up or move on to somewhere else, I don't know. But it was really quite interesting, and it took me several days before I actually twigged what it was. Anyway, just a silly little story. have a great new year, and I'll be making videos again soon, hopefully. It really is dependent on the solar power. I'm also quite busy working on the boat as well, and that's quite difficult because of the weather mainly. Got to get my boat safety done. Anyway, more from me another time soon. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.